Hello everyone! So from the title you must have assumed that today I'll be sharing the current reads of my March. Pretty much I haven't been reading much in this month because I have my exam schedule and they're literally screwing me up. But still, I was lucky enough to be picking this set of books which I think would suffice my March reading schedules. Okay, so I'll be sharing individual books. I have attached the timestamps in the description below so that you can skip to the exact book which you think is okay with you. And pretty much out of these, the first three books, of course, are Narnia series because I am currently reading this. I'm currently rereading them. And the second book which I have been reading is 1984 by George Orwell. Okay, so I am in absolute love with this book. Each of this character of this plot, the plot itself, the scenario itself is so intriguing and so terrorizing that I just cannot put this book up. And apart from these books, these three books, the third book which I'm reading is Ajaya. I'm so sorry, I'm not handling them correctly. This is Ajaya by Anand Neelkantan, and this is the subtitle is Ajaya, the Epic of the Kaurava Clan. I have read only the first 20 pages of this book, and I pretty much am not into this as of now because, okay, I'll be discussing each book separately henceforth, and I have attached the timestamps. Make sure you're looking at them. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching ATP, that is Among the Pages, where I talk about the books and the content written among their pages. This is Achyut Murari from the first year MBBS Manya Medical College. I'm a poet and I talk about the books over this channel only because of my passion. In this channel I'll be posting bookish content and personality development tips. So make sure you're subscribing to my channel if you want more content about the books and reviews, recommendations and whatnot. So coming to the first book which I'm reading, that is 1984 by George Orwell, and this is a stunning book. Undoubtedly, this is a stunning book and the best pick till date. I haven't read Animal Farm by George Orwell, so I feel guilt of not reading a classic. So I pretty much picked this book up because it's a little thin book and I think I can complete this in my March. So I felt this is okay. But as soon as I opened this book, it had a lot of terrorizing aspects. Basically, this book plot is all about the intrinsic surveillance of a government. Suppose, if at all, there is a whole war scenario in and around, and suddenly the whole, the way the government has been ruling changes, where the government actually looks into every aspect of your life. That is, whether you're sleeping, whether you're eating, whether you're drinking, what are your thoughts and what are your actions. Everything is being surveillance with the government. And how would that feel? Indeed, you are in a cage of a world where nothing is free. So you are devoid of freedom, you are devoid of freedom of speech, you are devoid of freedom of privacy, that is, you are devoid of privacy also. And you are also devoid of thinking. You cannot think against the government. So this is a scenario. Basically, there is a war between Oceania and all the Asiatic countries and all that. There's a whole content going on. Basically, I am in page number 98 of this, that is middle of this book, and I am loving that. The major concern of this book in parts of literature is this book has long sentences and does not break up into smaller sentences, because of which, if at all you are not reading this book in one sitting, you cannot understand what is actually happening previously. So I feel this is the only difficulty which I felt while I was reading this book. Nevertheless, I am even loving the front cover, that is the eye, that is, you are being watched by the big brother, who is the head of the government kind of, and he's no less than a dictator. Actually, I guess dictators are also somewhat kind, but these people, this big brother is not even that. He kills people, whoever thinks against him, and that killing process is called vaporization. And there is whole new language which is being set up in this plot, and that language is called Newspeak language, which is supposed to be derived from English, but it has a lot of different grammar. It has a little change in the vocabulary words and all that. The red color of this title, I guess, suggests actually thought of communism, the thought of communism, how it is being actually spreading throughout the nation, and how they are actually following that with brutal rules and lack of humanity and kindness. So this is the book all about, and that's it. So this is the author, George Orwell. I hope everyone's familiar with that, except for me because I was living under a rock till now, because I haven't picked any book of him till now. And this is in 1984. Coming to the second book, which I will be discussing right now, is Ajaya, The Roll of Dice by Anand Neelkantan. Basically, this is a retelling of the classical Mahabharata, which is every story of who can relate with every Hindu person ever in this country, because Mahabharata and Ramayana are the two classical epics which are being not just told as stories, but they are actually the guiding angels of our lives, which are transferred from one generation to the other, from the parents, from the grandparents to the children, and from the generation to the coming forth. So pretty much, I think there is a huge wave of retellings which is currently going on in India. There is Amish, there is Devdutt Patnaik, there is Durjoy Datta. Okay, sorry, not Durjoy Datta. Okay, there's Anand Neelkantan. So all these great authors, pretty much, I think, are actually looking back into the great epics and are pretty much finding loopholes, maybe, or from different point of view. So I think basically, as they say, the history favors the person who has won. As Pandavas have won the great war or the Kurukshetra, so the whole plot of the Mahabharata is actually written in a little favor, that is a 51% favor towards Pandavas. But basically, this book emphasizes, what if Kauravas were the good people, sort of, and what if they are the ones who are the pious ones, and what is the Kurukshetra war, and what is Mahabharata from the point of view of the Kauravas. So pretty much this is the first installment of this maybe trilogy or quadrilogy, and this is called the Epic of Kaurava Clan. Pretty much this basically describes the whole scenario, the political turmoil in Hastinapur, how it is affecting Bhishma and how it is affecting Dhritarashtra and the Empress Gandhari, their children, and the whole Kaurava clan. I feel, and I'm not into this book as of now. I have read only first 10 pages of this book, and I pretty much am not into this plot. I pretty much still in contradictory with the thoughts by being presented by the author Anand Neelkantan. So I think I'll take little more time in actually understanding the whole concept of this book and getting it settled into my mind. Maybe that would certainly help me. Now coming to the third book which I currently am reading is this beautiful set of books. And sorry for that. So this is the Chronicles of Narnia trilogy, and of course the Chronicles of Narnia is something by C.J.Lewis, is something which is well known to everyone, and I have recommended everyone to read these books. Coming to the fact, I have been rereading this book. I think I have read this book way back in my class 6 when I was approximately 11 to 12 years old, and today I am here with 19 years old. So in this gap of 7 years, I think these books are so well crafted that they need a rereading, because I think at this age I have a better perception and a better ideology of what actually I am reading. So I can clearly relate with the political turmoil, with the witches, with the new species of animals and talking animals, new beavers and all that. So pretty much I think that this is the right time I can reread this classic. And of course I have watched the Hollywood movie with the same name, but pretty much the Chronicles of Narnia franchise has gotten down with each installment of the movie coming upon over the theaters. So I think books are the best form of recreation. Even if you are a movie buff, books always carry humongous emotions in them, because each and every tiny detail is clearly covered into them. So I have been reading The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, The Prince Caspian, and The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So I have this is supposed to be pentalogy actually. I have been missing the last 2 books. I'll be reading them as an ebooks, as a PDF format, or maybe I go and buy them again. So these are the pretty much books which I have been currently reading, and I hope they somewhere find interest in your hearts. Go check out these books if at all you haven't read these till now. If at all you have read them, don't forget to make sure you're commenting it down in the comment section.